What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Birdies and Banter. Woo!
Now, do we say
Coming.
go New York, go New York, go?
Start spreading the news, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But by the way, congratulations to the New York Knicks. They did their 53-year drought over the weekend over the San Antonio Spurs. And New York was going crazy. Maybe they saw the parlays and saw Jackson Koivin's going to turn pro after this week. But seriously, shout out to them. And also, we got the World Cup, baby. So I had to wear this little shirt, went over the
Our
weekend.
FC
He has his
Barcelona
Yeah, he has his FC Barcelona, so World Cup's in town. And on the other side of the metropolitan area in New Jersey, in East Rutherford, at New Jersey, New York
Stadium,
Stadium. No, we call it MetLife Stadium. We don't forget that.
Levi
Uh,
Stadium, just
yeah,
stadium.
but the sports epicenter, folks, is in the New York tri-state area. But we're gonna go focus on the event going on in Long Island. There's this thing called the United States Open at Shinnecock Hills, and it's great to be back here with my brother Patrick.
Yeah, glad to be back here. I felt like the US Open kind of snuck up on me. Just to give everyone a warning here. Derrick and I are just gonna do a preview show because I will be out of the country when the US Open concludes. So Derrick may do a solo recap, or if he wants to wait 2 weeks, and then we can do a recap show. But I don't know how much US Open I'll be watching. But um, yeah, fun stuff. US Open. Our third major already. We got one more major after
Time
this, which
flies,
is
man.
which is crazy. And I feel like a lot of big storylines. Like we said in the recap show of the PGA, Scotty Scheffler going for the Grand Slam. Um, going to be interesting. I'm sure we'll talk about more, but we do have other things to talk about before we get into our picks. Derek.
Yeah, first off, Nelly Korda, unbelievable run she's been on, generational type run, won the
Yeah.
U.S. Women's Open. Love just seeing the women get their time in the L.A. sunshine, literally and physically, with the spotlight being on them over the last weekend. So kudos to Nelly. Gabby Lopez played sensational golf. Charlie Hull came out of nowhere and just, I think her quote on Saturday, yeah, I think Saturday was just like, I just won the club, or we're just gonna F it and swing the club, which there can be two things like, okay, I'm here and hopefully I make the cut, or I'm just gonna play with no pressure. And Charlie, I think, is knocking on the door of winning a major. She needs to get one. I think she will get one at the end by the end of this year. I know they got three more left. But Nelly, I mean, unbelievable run. I didn't think it would be better than the run she had like 2 years ago when she won what, like five straight times, had a major, won the gold medal, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, won the gold medal a
Was
few
that
years
the year
ago.
she won 8 times or
Yeah,
seven
eight
times?
times. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years ago. But yeah, hell of a run, and it's only going to get better. I mean, I think she's kind of the face of the LPGA. I think it's safe to say that. I think she's fully taken on that
Yeah.
responsibility. I
She
know she
has
does.
no emotion when she plays as well. She's like a
Yeah,
like a cold, not cold-hearted, but like she just has like a same face the whole round.
she's in the zone, and
Dude,
she just lets it out. I think when the tournament's over, you see that too. But yeah, she had the media tour, which was really cool to see. Saw like LPGA girls golf. Young girls were kind of not following her, but just hanging out with her in New York City. So that's pretty cool to see the LPGA get that shine. Also, Curtis Cup was over the weekend, so congrats to Team USA
yep,
at Bel Air Country Club too. That was a hell of a
sick.
that was sick, man. Just watching Bel Air, because we've heard stories about how good of a club was, but to finally see it on the television, watching kind of UFC White House and at the Stanley Cup final, but also you got that going on. Hell of a story. And then I also like one of the holes. I think it's like 6 or 7 where you walk through a tunnel, you go up the elevator,
Yep,
and then they give you like, I don't know if it was a smoothie or a protein shake or something. They
yep.
give you a drink, and then you have to tee off on, I think it's like the
Go
17th.
walk across the bridge.
Yeah, a pretty cool venue. But yeah, hell of a run for Nelly. But on the flip side, we had some allegations with a certain six-time major champion, Phil Mickelson. As you guys know, Golf Digest released a story about Phil. allegedly groping a employee at the Farms Golf Club, I believe.
Yeah, in
Um,
San Diego.
yeah, down in Rancho Santa Fe, San Diego area. Listen, we don't know. Obviously, I hope those allegations are true because if they are, that's pretty disgusting in my. But yeah, it's clear that I think just Phil just needs some time to step away and just focus on him and his family. So I would not be surprised to not see him play the rest of the year. You might probably see him next year, but yeah, I kind of heard through our the grapevine through a couple of my I'll say coworkers that know some golf journalists in the industry that said, yeah, there's a pretty big story coming out. And yeah, to see this happen, I mean, Phil's kind of been dealing with some stuff. I know he stepped away originally for a family health matter, and then you have this. So, just sad to see where he was, especially 5 years ago. This last month winning the PGA, now just kind of in the abyss of the golf realm. So, I know that story is going to continue to unfold as more details are released there.
Yeah, Phil's good. He's always a happy guy, I would say, and
Yeah,
having this story come out is just like, takes a shot to his reputation and his legacy. So hopefully, you know, hopefully it's not like I don't want to, it's bad, but like not like extremely bad where it's like, oh, you know,
yeah.
do we have
And let's
another Tiger Woods on our hands, you know?
And let's hope it's an isolated incident, not the first of many, because that's just like I said,
Yeah.
that type of behavior, alleged or not, does not belong in golf or anywhere in the workplace too.
Yeah.
So that yeah, sending
Uh
our love and our prayers to the victim as well to having to experience that. So.
yeah, speaking of Tiger, he's out of rehab too. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Charlie. Well, we're gonna go. We're gonna get into more, the fun stuff, which is U.S. Open 5 qualifying. Obviously, Charlie Woods was on the bag for Miles
Miles
Russell,
Russell.
who qualified, which was really cool. I was able to go to U.S. Open 5 qualifying up in the capital city of Sacramento, California. Since I know we have out-of-state viewers, so I had to clarify the capital city of California. But it
It's
was
not
fun,
LA.
man. It was fun seeing the best, kind of just these guys chasing their dreams, whether you're a mini tour player or you're not. Got to see Michael Block, who just qualified for the U.S. Senior Open, so congrats to him. Stuart Hagestad, who legendary amateur player in the U.S. Low M, I think, at the Masters in 2017, and then was obviously won U.S. Mid Amateur Championship, I believe, and was on the Walker Cup last year at Cypress Point. Who else was there? Ricky Barnes, the Stockton legend. Finished top five in 2009 at a U.S. Open in the New York area at Bethpage Black. But yeah, it came down to four guys. Taylor Montgomery, who's going to start his fourth U.S. Open start, has had a couple top tens on the Corn Ferry Tour. I think, I interviewed him for the NCJ, and he was just surprised, like, oh my God, he was just surprised on how good he
Yeah.
was hitting it. And yeah, I mean, he's trying to get back trying to get hit back to the PGA Tour in a full-time status. So he's going to be there with his dad, who's caddying, which is pretty cool. Eric Lee, who I saw play at the Olympic Club during the U.S. Amateur, he doesn't really get talked about a lot because I think all the attention goes to his teammate, Preston Stout, top five amateur of the world out of
Yeah.
Oklahoma State. He played really well, was really running away with the medalists and made bogey on the ninth hole, but played sensational. He's going to be a face that you'll see down the road. And then Matthew Robles, I mean, that was the loudest roar I've heard. I think Santa Clara showed up. The Santa Clara sophomore, originally from Downey, California, made I think it was an 8-footer. And yeah, loudest roar at Del Paso. So Matt Robles is going to the U.S. Open for the first time. Had his teammate JP Odlin, who he's played in some NCJ events, caddy for him, which was pretty cool. And then the best story, to my opinion, Merrick Fleming, who is from Tomball, Texas, which if you guys don't know, Tomball, Texas is the hometown of Jimmy Butler. And he had his dad on the bag. Chose to play here because his dad's side of the family lives in Bakersfield because he was trying to play in Texas, but they had NCAA regionals for South Carolina. Cool, humble kid, man, and obviously gonna have. I think he's gonna have his dad on the bag when I talk to him, so it should be a pretty cool experience for all the three amateurs, and also for Taylor, who's gonna hopefully get a good finish and kind of accelerate his return to the PGA Tour. But yeah, it was a hell of a day. Just love kind of seeing um, seeing kind of all the stories unfold in a way. That's the beautiful part about golf's
Yep.
longest day. Got to meet Kira Dixon, who reports for Golf Channel, so very awesome to meet her and just to you know kind of just say, hey, it's awesome to meet you. I'm a big fan of what you've been doing on Golf Channel, which she's been killing it as well. So yeah, it was a fun time. We made it safely though. It was like I think a 12-hour day for a couple of us up there, but it was fun in Del Paso. And shout out to all the staff that were really friendly up there. Historic golf club. They
Yep.
had the U.S. Senior Open, Jeff Maggart won, and I think they had because I know this by because they had all the photos
Photos,
like
yeah.
because the men's bathroom was way on the other side, so we had to keep going back and forth to where the scoring was. But yeah, they had the U.S. couple U.S. women's amateurs, so it was a pretty cool event. And now we get to see the action unfold this week at Shinnecock Hills, my friend.
Yeah, just one thing about Del Paso, Derrick was there on site, and it is pretty cool that, even Sacramento, that's where Del Paso is, and it's like so cool that Golf Channel goes out to every single longest day in history or longest day all year,
Yeah.
U.S. Open final qualifying. So, we could probably host it in some little town, but Golf Channel is always going to be there, and they bring the big cameras, they bring the
Yeah.
whole shebang. They're interviewing people, giving live updates through the day. So, super special that we can host every other year. So
Hmm.
next year goes that back down to the SCGA, and then we'll get it back the year after that. And
Because
don't be
next year,
surprised.
friends, we
Don't be
might do a live
surprised that Del
show.
Paso's hosting again. So
Yeah, next year, friends, we might do a live show from Pebble Beach because that's where the U.S. Open's at, baby. Woo! Let's focus on this year. I know you guys want to know who we're picking and what more about Shinnecock Hills.
yeah. What about Shinnecock Hills?
Oh, I see. I thought you were gonna back me up there. So Shinnecock, let's see. The first course, they weren't actually one of the five founding clubs of the USGA. Thought I'd throw in that nugget. First club ever. This is anywhere in the United States to host to host the U.S. Open in three different centuries. Yeah, fun
Mm,
fact. They hosted, this is their sixth time hosting the event. I'll just run through the list of winners. 1896, they had this in the same week as the U.S. Amateur. James Fowlis, um, they played 36 holes and he shot a total of 152, three-stroke win over Horace Rollins.
mm.
And I think got paid. I think I had the number here of how much he got paid.
$20.
Uh,
150.
$150.
Nice.
You see how the game has grown right there. And then they didn't return until 1986 because they wanted to make it, restore it back in the 80s. So they returned 1986. Raymond Floyd got his last major there. Obviously, Raymond Floyd, one of my favorite like historical players that to watch film on him. Shot a 4 under par, 66 in the final round to get his fourth major, beating, I just had it right here, Chip Beck and Lanny Watkins. Um, Score 1 under. 1995, Corey Pavin hit the forward of his life to win his only major. Finished at even par, two shots over Greg Norman. Retief Goosen put on a putting display in 2004. He fished at 4 under. And then, of course, the last time we were here, Brooks Koepka shot one over, but Tommy Fleetwood, that was his close to me, his closest call. I think shot what, 63, 62, if I remember.
63, yeah.
Um, Phil had that five putt on hole 10. But yeah, I love going back to these old school golf courses, man. It's going to be beautiful carnage, as I like to say, because the greens are cooking. They had to water the greens already because the winds are going to be so like turned up.
Yeah.
Mother Nature's going to turn the dial up to like 30 or 40. So I'm interested to see how the guys attack it. The fairways are wide; they're pretty generous, but it's going to come down to who hits the most greens and who can make the most pars because it's going to be a par fest. You're going to see a little bit of a birdies maybe on Friday and Saturday, but I think it's just going to be who can make the most pars and avoid your sevens, your eights. It's going to
Yeah.
be a true test of golf right there.
It's kind of crazy that Brooks Koepka won with a 1 over score. Like that's crazy. I know it's been a while since we've seen a 1 over. I don't know. Was it the PGA? We kind of started off a little shaky
Yeah,
there, but yeah, 1 over. That's how the USGA likes it. They like a little tough test for the players, and maybe like I don't know, 3 4 under maybe. I'm gonna say.
yeah. I kind of see it going to like it'll touch five, but then it'll go back. I think it'll touch five maybe on Saturday because they, what happened, 2018 too, is that they had some really inaccessible pins in my opinion, and then the winds were already dialed up, cooked up to another 11. I think they want to avoid kind of that. I would say it's controversy, but when you have balls continuously to roll back, especially when you're putting too, that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah,
So I think that's why they're starting to water the greens already
it's too
because you
late.
don't want to lose the greens in the on Saturday. You just want to maintain a consistent level.
Yeah,
So that's where the big, the greens crew staff that they got there. I think they brought in like I don't know 200 plus people, including some from overseas, from Japan. So it should be a good test.
yeah. So, do we have any social media pics, Dirk?
You know what? I did not check that because your boy's been busy. Let me see here. I'm sure we'll get some later in the week, and I'm just gonna refer to watch this show. So let me check. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, we had to do my
I
own
think
social media.
I got one from Adrian. He picked Scotty Scheffler. I don't know if
Uh,
he put that
uh,
on your story as well.
no, I think it was just you. Scotty, there was all the hype right after he won the Open. Like, oh my God! By the way, it's his birthday on Father's Day, and he's gonna be celebrating Father's Day, being a dad of two now. But I don't know, dude. The last time we saw him was what, the Memorial, I believe, and he
Yeah.
was yelling at Ted Scott for getting the wind wrong, that he missed his shot like 2 yards
Yeah.
short, something like that. He was going off. I don't know. Like I said at the beginning of the year, he would not win a major. I'm going to continue that. I think he will barely be on the cut line, might make a small run at it, but yeah, he's just got a lot of holes in his game this year that, whether it's with the putter, with the ball striking, the
Yeah.
driver, it just seems like all three parts have not locked in consistently, where he can go on a tear like we've seen the past couple years. So I would stay away from Scotty. I think this event is going to favor the field. I don't think you're going to see any like of the major, like your top two or three stars, your
Yeah.
Rory, uh, Scotty. I'll put John Rahm in that mix because he's always up there in the favorites. Yeah, I think it's going to favor the field. I think you're going to see somebody who we don't expect, or somebody that we've expected, but then they're just going to sneak up on you on the leaderboard and be
Yeah.
within that U.S. Open trophy on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, but I will. Do you want me to go for my picks, or do you
I'll
want me?
I'll I'll go first. I
'Cause I think
think
we
you
split
went
that.
first
Yeah,
last
we split
time,
that.
so
Yeah.
I don't want you to ruin my thunder this time.
No, you're good.
So like I said, every episode, every preview episode, I'm trying to not pick the same player each major. So in the PGA Championship, I picked Schauffele, Souffle, Christopher Wrighton, who was an amateur in this U.S. Open in 2018. While looking at the leaderboard, that was kind of crazy to see. I picked Adam Scott, and I picked PGA Pro Brandon Shattuck, who almost got last place in the PGA Championship. So, yeah, bad pick by our good buddy RT there, who led me astray. But all right, my first pick, I'm going with Scotty Scheffler, even though Derek just bashed on him for the last 5 minutes. He did, uh, at the Byron Nelson, he shot 30 under or 27 under, lost.
Crazy
He
score,
was,
man.
yeah, it's crazy. At the Memorial, he was tied for 12, and then he skipped last week. He's done that a couple times this year with the majors, just skipping the tournament before. So you never know what you're gonna get out of Scotty. We have been seeing Scotty shoot low, and then we've also seen Scotty like only shoot one under, and he had numerous chances during the tournament to get it done. He's the first in total strokes gained, total driving, greens in regulation, and scoring average, and he still hasn't put it all together yet. So, leading all those categories, hopefully everything just clicks, you know, maybe on the weekend, and he'll get it done for the career Grand Slam. So, um, my next pick, I'm going with Wyndham Clark. This guy is hot. He won the Byron Nelson minus 30. That's just insane to think about. Minus 30. Third at the Memorial and then T11 at the Canadian Open. Uh, this guy has he's been near the top of the leaderboard the last couple of weeks. Number four in putting average. But Derrick, he is 128th scrambling from rough. So
Mhm.
luckily, uh, the fairways are wide this week, but if he does find some trouble in that rough, it's going to be brutal for him. And then my third pick, Derek, Siwoo Kim.
Oh,
Yeah,
woo.
Siwoo Kim. Second at the Byron Nelson, top 10 at the Memorial, top five strokes gained, driving accuracy, and scoring average. So, like Wyndham Clark, he's been pretty steady this year. So, would love to see a Siwoo Kim win it all.
Okay, I like those picks. Yeah, Siwoo. I just want to see him contend at a major, which we haven't really seen out of him
Yeah.
consistently. So I think that would be cool. Um, let's see. Wyndham is on he might be on one of my picks. I might reveal that a little bit later. And like I said, Scotty, I think he just has to get off to a good start, dude. Because he's been
Yeah, he
what
can't
he's
come
behind the
from
eight
behind,
ball,
He's got
behind the
to,
eight ball at Augusta, and then just
yeah,
kind of ran out of steam the last couple holes. PGA, I'm surprised that I thought he would kind of accelerate. When he was on that first page of the leaderboard, I'm like, okay, this is Scotty versus everybody, and just the short game kind of let him down that week at Aronimink. But yeah, here are my picks. So I did mention Wyndham Clark. The last time I've mentioned Wyndham Clark on the show, he was beating up a locker at Oakmont. This was last year's U.S. Open. And
yep,
then all of a sudden, like I think just a slight attitude change. He did get a new caddy as well, and then he's been playing lights out. 30 under too. I mean, when he gets hot, we saw it at Pebble a few years ago when he can make birdies and bunches and eagles.
yep,
The Duke can get rolling. My only thing is his attitude. Because Oakmont will test your patience real quick, especially with some of the pin locations. And if you hit certain shots that come back to you, I just want to see how he reacts to it. Hopefully, just be namaste, cool, breathe in, fresh air. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he enjoyed himself being the villain last week at the RBC Canadian Open, wearing the Jack Hughes
yeah,
jersey and showing the Canadian fans some love from the gold medal game at the Winter Olympics in Milan. So yeah, Wyndham's my third. Number two. He's been a little quiet since he got hot. We saw him win the Players Championship. I did mention him. I'm saving him for this major particularly because we're in New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Cameron Young. Okay, a year ago we saw what happened. He had to qualify to play his way into Oakmont, and then ends up finishing T4. And then since then, he won the Wyndham, obviously balled out at the Ryder Cup. Let's be real, was probably the most valuable player for Team USA at the Ryder
yep,
Cup. Won the Players, top three finish at the Masters. Just didn't make putts, and then just blitzed the field at the Cadillac Championship at Trump Doral. Um, I think for him is that can he be aggressive off the tee? Because there's certain, holes where, yeah, the fairways look inviting, but you have to be on the right angle of side of things. But like I said, I think it's going to come down to his driver. How aggressive does he want to be off the tee? I think that putter's going to be rolling. And plus, New York being at home, I'm sure he dreamt of playing a U.S. Open here at Shinnecock Hills and, in the New York area. So I think he's just going to use that to really show out and kind of remind the audience why he's been in the Player of the Year conversation. But my number one pick, a guy that's been kind of sneaking up on people, in my opinion, this year, is Xander Schauffele. That is right. We're going with the X-Man. Um, Qualified. Remember, Aaron Hills qualified to get in the U.S. Open, finished fifth that year. And then in nine starts, he's never finished worse than 14th. Never finished worse than 14th. Um, I'm looking at this guy as just being patient throughout. I love this quote, I think, when he was in contention at the Masters, where he just said, yeah, me and Kai's, who's his caddy, Austin Kai's was like, yeah, we're in our own little world, and nothing really seems to affect him at all. Finished ninth at the Masters, seventh at the PGA. I think he gets the game rolling. I know he had battled some injury concerns last year, so it took a while for his game, but I feel like it's peaking for this moment. And for Xander to have the Olympic gold medal, to have a claret jug and a Wanamaker U.S. Open, and then he gets a look to Augusta where he goes it for a career Grand Slam. But yeah, I like Xander's chances this week, and he's another guy too. If he can get hot with that putter, man, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with out there.
That's it.
That is it. I think those are my three. Yeah, I went Wyndham,
Oh,
Cam
so
Young.
you did choose a window.
I did choose Wyndham, yeah,
Okay, I thought you
but
were like you're kind of iffy on him.
yeah, it was between him and John Rahm because John Rahm, I think he played really well at the PGA, kind of discovered, hey,
Yeah,
I actually belong back in the elite level of the game, but I'm not sure. It's going to take a test of patience. But we see
yeah,
Rombo when he gets a little hot, it kind of kind of carries his game away. And
yeah.
also, I think Jackson Koiven contends this week. I think he's going to show out the San Jose native before he turns pro. But yeah, he had that Malbon video, which looked phenomenal. So shout out to Malbon. They actually liked my
Yeah.
comment. I forgot to tag you in it. They actually liked my comment. So
What?
I'm not asking for a sponsorship. Like I think I
Oh,
typed
I'll
in.
ask for it.
Yeah,
So,
I think I typed in. It's like sounds like Mr. Koivin's going to turn pro because they teased the Auburn. But I think you're going to see an amateur be in contention this week. There's
I got
just
Miles Russell
yeah, Miles Russell
contending.
too. It'll be good to see him kind of in this field just because we're used to him seeing dominate junior golf AJGA events.
Yeah,
So it'll be nice to see him kind of play with the big guys there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. It's going to be a great U.S. Open. And we will do we'll do a post round show maybe on I think on my podcast early next week. So stay tuned for that on
yeah.
Spotify. It's going to be fun. And by the way, 50 episodes. So congratulations. Thank you for all your support. This guy right here was one of the reasons why I started my own podcast. So now we're doing a side hustle podcast,
Side gig.
side gig
Yeah.
podcast. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun US Open, man. So I will re-mention your picks again in my show too. Maybe I'll send you a link when you're overseas enjoying life.
Yeah, man, eating some sushi.
Yeah, celebrating Fourth of July overseas, but
Yep.
I know you're gonna have fun over there, man.
Yep. Should be a good time. Should be a great US Open. Hopefully one of our picks wins this year. We're still over, right? We haven't picked
Uh
someone yet?
Yeah, Rory, we remember Rory was kind of not showing form and then showed up to Augusta. It's like, oh, I played it like 10 times.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I kind of knew the PG. We were due for a guy to have a breakthrough moment, and Aaron Rye
Yeah.
broke through on that back nine on Sunday. And I think, like I said, this one, I think you're going to see who has the best putting and who has the best short game, because that's
Yeah.
what it's going to come down to. And who makes the best par breakers, out of the sand too, because there's a lot of bunkers at Shinnecock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. It's going to be beautiful carnage, as I like to say, because you're going to see a lot of shots that you won't see ever on the PGA Tour. Guys hitting out of,
Yeah.
with 1 foot in out of the bunker, trying to yak it out of there. So it should be an exciting time. It's a beautiful place to be in New York City when you got the World Cup and the Knicks parade's on Thursday too. So, but make sure you celebrate responsibly out
Yeah.
there in the five boroughs.
Stay safe. Do not light any buses on fire. All
Please
right.
don't.
Chronicles from the Upper Deck. Follow Derrick on there, and that will be where the recap show is next week. So,
Because we are in a New York state of mind.